Welcome back to my channel. My name's Emily and today we are making this poncho. Hope you guys enjoy this tutorial and please consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. Let's get into it. To get started, you're going to chain an even number of chains that measures out to 20 inches using your larger hook. Then you're going to add an additional 3 chains. Swap to your smaller hook, and in the 5th chain from the hook, you're going to double crochet. To make a double crochet, you yarn over, insert your hook, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That's a double crochet. Then you're going to chain 1 and make another double crochet after you skip a stitch, then chain, and you're going to continue to do this down the row. You will finish the row with a double crochet in that last stitch. Then you will chain 3 and turn your work. Skip the first 2 stitches, which is that double crochet in that chain, and then double crochet into that second double crochet from the row below. Then you're going to chain, double crochet. You're always going to chain over a chain space and double crochet into a double crochet space, if that makes it easy to remember what you need to do next. And continue to do this down the end of the row. At the end stitch, this can be a little tricky. If it helps, you can put a stitch marker, but you're going to chain and then skip a stitch and then enter and make a double crochet into that second stitch. Hopefully that makes sense. You'll be seeing what I'm doing here. We had to skip one and then made a double crochet in that second chain. Now I am chaining 3 and I'm going to turn my work. I'm going to skip, and then I'm going to double crochet into that second double crochet at the bottom row. I'm going to continue working up the mesh stitch until my project reaches 55 inches long. Now it is time to connect my rectangle to make it into a poncho. I am laying it flat and then folding up 1/2, twisting it like this, and I'm going to match up the corners. I'm going to use a stitch marker here to make sure that this stays connected, and I'm going to match up these squares as an easy way to make sure it looks even. I'm going to put a stitch marker in that last square as well, and then I'm going to create a slip knot on my hook. I make a slip knot by wrapping the yarn around my fingers, putting and pulling up that loop in the middle. I am inserting my hook here and I'm going to wrap the yarn around my hook, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 to make a single crochet, and I am going to put 2 single crochets into every square all the way up. Do not cut your yarn at the end though, because we are going to continue to single crochet around the opening of the poncho when we get to the end of this seam. I have made my way around. I am finishing my last 2 single crochets. I'm coming up to the stitch marker from earlier. I'm going to take it out and I'm going to put a single crochet in the actual double crochet. Not an additional single crochet, just one of the 2 that's supposed to be in that little square. I'm going to put in the actual double crochet and then make sure I get it through the meat of the double crochet on the side, if that makes sense. You can see that here. And then we're going to go ahead and work straight into the sides of these double crochets around the opening of the poncho. I'm going to use that same stitch marker and mark the first single crochet I started around the opening of the poncho. And yeah, continue to add more single crochets all the way around. I am placing my last single crochet, and then I made it to the stitch marker, so I'm going to slip stitch into that first stitch that I have the stitch marker in and cut the yarn. Here I'm just showing you that I like to tie knots with the strings that end up close to each other before I weave them in. I don't actually show weaving in. You guys can let me know if you would like to see a tutorial on how I weave in my ends. You'll want to turn your poncho right side out. Next, it's time to add a single crochet trim to the other edge of the poncho. Start by making a slip knot, then single crochet onto the side of the poncho. Continue adding 2 single crochet per square. I like to use a stitch marker to mark the first stitch. Continue working until you reach the point of the poncho, and I'll show you what to do there. When you reach the point, you're going to add 2 single crochets, chain 2, and then add 2 more single crochets into that block. And then continue around until you reach the stitch marker. When you reach the stitch marker, you're going to slip stitch into that first stitch and fasten off and cut your yarn. It's time to weave in your ends and wear your new poncho.